Now, those of you who would have seen Spider-Man might remember the quote I'm going to say: "With great power comes great responsibility." Actually, it was Voltaire, the French philosopher, who first said it, but it was in French. But that kind of brings me to the next topic. Mr. Ravinder Jain spoke about the livelihood that you provide to fishermen in Kerala. Now, if someone's livelihood depends upon a small service that you provide, you can lock in that person. And what happens if he forgets to pay his bill? Do you cut out that livelihood? What happens with all the information that he's giving to you? What happens if your network cannot support where he is out on the sea, because his safety and his livelihood depends on you? Now, these kinds of questions lead us to things about responsibility, lead us to things about ownership, and so far this industry has been unregulated in this regard. But I'm going to invite my colleague Mr. R. Giridhar to introduce the next topic and answer some of these questions.
Thanks, Rachit. And I must thank Dr. Jaykumar and Mr. Jain for keeping everybody awake and so enthused about the topics on how to use mobiles for different applications. And they've shown really what people are practically doing with all these things to provide health, provide education, provide employment. So they've highlighted a lot of things. And as Rachit just said, with this kind of increased responsibility from the service providers, whether the service provider is a private service provider or a public service provider like the government, there's a greater onus on everyone to take all this data very responsibly. I just want to ask a quick question. How many people of you receive unsolicited SMS? Okay, lots of people. How many people receive unwanted emails, junk mail? Lots of people. So we can all see where the problem is coming now. That somebody's got hold of your email ID, somebody's got hold of your phone number, and they are able to send all these messages to you. It's a lot of effort on your part to delete all these unwanted things, and it's something you don't want to do, but you are compelled to do because your data is out there. And how many people are subscribed for D&D? Do not disturb. Very few. Okay, so that's surprising. So maybe many people don't know about this service. Or is it too hard to do it? Okay, so but don't know. So I think that's one of the things. So you have to take now extra effort to prevent all these unwanted things from reaching you. So the government operates a service at a considerable cost to prevent all this unwanted information from reaching you. But more than that, how many people use public email? Whether you use Rediff or you use Google Mail, Hotmail, how many people use? Almost everybody. So who's taking care of all your messages which are on these services? Do you know? Can somebody get at those messages? Do you know? Will you be able to retrieve all your messages, say, after 5 years? Or are you just happy letting it all be there? How many people send confidential information? How many people get bank statements in these emails? People who subscribe to bank statements by email, electronic mail? Lots of people. Where do these bank statements go? Can somebody get them? I think these are the sort of questions that you must start asking. So what happens when you have all this information traveling over the public internet? How many people do income tax filing? Lots of people. Okay, so lots of people pay tax. So do you still fill up a form and submit it to the counter, or do you do it electronically? A lot of people do electronically, right? How do you know somebody else can't get hold of that data? Then they know exactly, right? Where you live, how much you earn, what you do, probably what bank accounts you've got.